Hello everyone and welcome to this new historical Let's Play series with Yin Yang Total War. When I first started this channel, I told you all that I was a Total War player first and foremost, and that I would be tackling historical as well as fantastic Total War content. However, because I've been so pumped up on my first series as well as modded content, both of which are Warhammer based, I have been ignoring the games that brought me to Total War to begin with. So, why am I starting with Rome 2? Well, out of all the historical Total Wars, Rome 2 really had the hardest grip on me. I played it from the moment it came out, and I was fortunate enough not to suffer the bugs that everyone else did. There are parts of it that I didn't love, such as naval battles. However, there is so much more that I did and still do love to this day. I am beyond eager to jump back into Rome with you all, and I hope that we can have lots of fun together. Now, for our first playthrough, I will be playing as none other than Rome itself. I know this is not a terribly unique faction to start with, but we must start somewhere, and the Romans are just too fun to say no to for our first Let's Play. I will be playing the House Cornelia because I really enjoy their more diplomatic and xenophile outlook. I will be playing this game with several mods, of course, including the Radius mod. Normally I shy away from overhaul mods as they tend to be incompatible with other mods. However, I like Radius. It really hits most of the points of improvement that I wanted to see from Rome. And so this is the one for me. I do also play with a couple of reskins, particularly for the generals, but that is something that we will touch on later. So all of that being said, let's stop talking about it and let's start playing. Oh, let's turn that difficulty up. There we go.
You are at war with the Etruscan League. March north and capture their territories. This will allow you to consolidate Italia and ensure the safety of Roma. You must wage war if you hope to extend your dominion. Syracuse and Carthage own territory in Magna Graecia, so conflict with them is inevitable if you wish to expand across the Mediterranean. Otherwise, they may prove useful allies against Etruria or the Gaulish tribes to the north. Come what may, Rome will triumph.
And I do miss those flyovers. I know why they took them out of Warhammer 3, but they were so much fun. Just listening to them give you a synopsis of what's going on and what you want to focus on. It's great. But we don't really need it because we don't we're not too worried about that. So just like my Archaon Let's Play, I am going to be focused on more of a role play setting with these guys. Probably better than my Archaon because it's mostly just been a domination campaign rather than how these characters would act. But this time, we're going to be focused on that. So, who do we start with? And man, do I miss the politics system. Such a fun thing to manage. So we have Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio. He is going to be our leader, our current dictator, and the leader of our family as well. We'll have his brother Lucius Cornelius Scipio. He is going to be our current heir until we can produce some of our own. Hopefully our children don't die off. I know that that's a big problem, or at least it was last time I played, where my children would just die off all the time. For House Julius, or excuse me, for House Julia, we have Lucius Julius Lebo. For House Junia, we have Marcus Junius Brutus, as well as Decimus Junius Brutus. And then for House Papira, we have Lucius Papirius. Sorry guys for the slaughter of that one. Cursor. And something we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to focus on what our traits are. So, he is a stranger to fear, which means that he is going to be first up in battle, right? He is also the dictator, which is more of a position than a personality trait, but we will wield that position. Looking at our brother, he understands war, so that is going to be something that we want to focus him down. Looking at Lucius, he is giving, which I don't know why that's an awful thing, but it is. So minus 5% tax rate for all provinces, and then he is a born leader. Once again, we're gonna have these guys out fighting, right? Looking at Marcus, he's gonna be a plutocrat, which is we're probably gonna keep him more in the backfield, but that's okay. And then Admiral Decimus Brutus is a siege expert. So maybe it would be better to take him off of the oceans and put him in a army. And looking at old Lucius, of course he's got some bad traits. He's a political animal. And he is a drunkard. That's good. That's what we like to see. At least somebody's got a bad trait, right? I thought I was dealing with all heroes here. Looking at our family tree, or not our family trees, but our party focuses. As you know, we already have ours, which is going to be, oh gosh, which is going to be our focus on foreign affairs. We're more pleasant to be around, and then you know our leader is going to be a stranger to fear, so no concerns from that really. Looking at Lucius, he is also a bigot. The guy from Rome 1 talking about how he hates Gauls and all that nonsense. That's going to be this man here. Oh, there he is. Hates barbarians. Can't stand barbarians. So any diplomatic ties we have with the Northerners, that's going to be an issue. House Junia is going to be diplomatic like us, or at least their leader is. And then they're also traditionalists, so they want us to keep Rome Roman. And they're agriculturists, which means they're going to give us +5 loyalty for having food surplus. That's a good thing to know. We've got the House Papiria is going to be bigoted all the way through. So even if I get this guy killed off, which I wouldn't do on purpose, right? We are going to be stuck with that trait, unfortunately. And then he is a xenophobe, which only builds into that bigotedness, right? These two are going to be ones that we need to watch. These guys are probably our natural allies. All right, and he is also subversive, which means that we need to watch out, or their party, excuse me, is subversive, which means they're going to have really good agents, but they also are probably someone to watch out for when it comes to assassinations versus us. Okay, and you guys do forgive me if I make some missteps. It is my first time playing Rome in quite a while, so with that knowledge at hand, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on getting a barracks. Actually, how's our food supply? Let's get farming. And we'll probably do the same thing up north, but Rome needs Let's take consecrated ground. Really keep that public order going for us. And then Neapolis is going to be the home of our navy, so let's build a military wharf there. Although maybe we should just wait. We'll bring the ships into Neapolis.
Ready for orders.
And we'll bring our northern forces up to Velithry.
Let them cower! We cannot pass here. Advance!
They are in no position to help, and chasing them up the hill would only weaken our position. So, oh, hold on.
Ready for battle!
Let's take a look at his...
Ready for orders.
Nothing about that says that he feels the need to chase every enemy, so we will go ahead and take it. And let's jump into our first battle. And there he is, folks, our
Soldiers
noble general.
I expect only victory.
And the march has begun. And it looks like the Etruscans have decided to come out of their city.
Understood.
Which will probably not be to their benefit. If I had spears, I would try to hold a corridor, not come out to be flanked, but that's just me. Now on the other side of the field, we do have our, and let me get rid of that. On the other side of the field, we do have our Velites coming down to seize the city that they have exited.
Double time!
Looks like the engagement is already getting started.
Double time! Quickly now!
And they are going to have the first volley.
Keep your hands on! Hit them in the at the double! Lightning! Advance at speed! Riders at the double! Swords in heaven! Then brackets, swords drawn and make ready! None of the others see you like this! Do not hang sonic danger!
Ooh, and that's got to be rough getting pelted with those rocks. Not as rough as getting hit with a peeling, though. The slow advance has begun, and they are pulling back. Meanwhile, our Velites have already seized the city. The poor peasantry that tried to defend their hometown is, oh, being massacred. My lord.
Enemy approaching, sir! Break off! In service to Rome!
And the main engagement has begun.
And for glory! For glory!
And there's just something more visceral about this human-on-human conflict, right? Maybe it's the matched animations, maybe it's the, you know, everyone's more matched against each other, right?
For the gods! Charge! Legio Parati!
Oh! There goes the general now. Oh, and into friendly fire just a little bit. But it does appear that the battle is already over. So, I'll see you back on the campaign map. Oh, and that is an insane kill. I forgot about that. Alright, let's see. We're going to occupy. This is part of our home territory. We don't want to start looting and slaving just yet. And this looks like it will make a great first base, or first farm, so.
Ready for battle! We hunger for battle!
And if you think for a second that we are focused on the betterment of Rome, you're probably mistaken. This campaign is going to be focused on the families outdoing each other. We want to have the most power in Rome. Some families are more attuned to Rome as a whole, but we are still in competition. So, we're not going to march on Syracuse just yet, but it is coming.
At once. Is that all? Are you ready to serve Rome?
Oh, thank you.
Ready for battle.
And for Lucius, we are going to make him a commander, but we're also going to take him down the warrior tree. Alright, and we should be safe to end our turn there.
At your
Although, I do want to see what's going on up in Arenum.
swift and silent, a shadow among shadows.
And it looks like a whole lot of nothing right now, so
Assistance.
that should be simple to deal with. Carry on. Take a look at our diplomacy tree.
Be welcome here, and speak as you wish, without fear of consequence or danger.
I think being friendly with the Athenians can't hurt us. Trade agreement, yeah, absolutely. And we'll probably stop at that, see if we can get some money out of the deal. Oh yeah, we can. Well, let's just keep going. Oh wow. Let's back it up. There we go.
With these words, you bring joy to my heart and hope to my soul. My thanks.
And you're lining our pockets, so we're happy with that. Let's see if anybody else wants to, oh, I guess we won't be attacking.
I am honored to receive this embassy,
Syracuse,
and will listen with interest to all you have to say.
But I do know that Carthage does not like them, and Carthage does not like us, so we will pull back and maintain readiness for now.
We hunger for battle.
perhaps it's even better if we go ahead and start moving north.
Ready for further orders. It is a great and glorious thing to die for Rome.
There we go, that's good.
Ready for orders.
Let's recruit here as well.
Come, fight for Rome!
That ought to do it. We'll go ahead and make Rome a civil colonia. We don't really want that one to be a garrison colonia just because, I mean, it's Rome. It's the heart of the empire, right? We'll also build a manipular barracks. And we're out of money again.
I humbly ask that you at least consider a formal treaty. Strong defenses need good foundations.
If we form a defensive alliance with Athens, we would basically be backing them to take over Greece. This could play to our benefit, so yes. Perhaps it'll pull us into some wars and
you have a good mind
give us a reason to go over there.
Your decision here. As all the gods look down
Sparta.
on us, they too must wonder why we are not firmer allies and friends.
I will not. I want to see what you do with Athens first. But for now, we can do a trade agreement. Oh, right. Factions in Rome 2 do not have trade ability if they do not have a port. I forgot about that. I don't know what your standing is with Athens. Well, it looks like that you approve of our treaties with Athens. So what we'll do is we'll do a non-aggression pact. We will, of course, demand payment from you so that we don't attack you. And an exorbitant amount of payment, obviously.
You are wise enough not to sit idly upon the bank, but to take the fish as it swims by. Your new offer is fair. I swear by Zeus that for our part, all will be as we have agreed.
That's a pretty big sum to get from somebody who the diplomacy tree says is stronger than me. Or the diplomacy balance, excuse me.
We hunger for battle.
Let's go ahead and attack it.
None will escape. Sieging settlement.
We'll siege it for
Laying
just a
siege
minute.
to the settlement. At your command. Set up the watch. We hunger for battle.
We will wait here a turn.
Ready
Maybe
for
we don't.
orders. For death and honor.
But let's go ahead and
Besieging settlement.
unite Central Italia. That is quite a few forces altogether. But that's what makes it fun, right? Alright, and kicking things off again.
Gods of our enemies, listen to me. I pledge you my victory today. Turn your backs on your unworthy followers and support our efforts. Be honored by us and know what honor means. As you go on.
I really do enjoy those general speeches. They're not as good as the old ones, but still, at least they kept them for some time, right? So, as you'll see, we actually kept the fog. So, one thing that I do is I always go with whatever the first weather option is, because it, you know, you don't control the weather, right? If you wait for good weather, you give your enemies more time to prepare. So, that is something that I will be doing going forward with the historical Total Wars, as long as weather options are in them, right? Now, you'll notice that I am missing the Vilites. I had sent them over to this wood line here to flank. And while that was happening, I was also getting flanked. So, this offensive battle turned into a defensive battle.
We obey! Right, men! Close look on those bastards! At the devil! Battle! This is mine!
Probably not the right time to move, but that's alright. And it looks like our first engagement has already begun with the enemy cavalry. Not a great look for them. Oh, he just got deleted off of his stallion there. And the infantry fight has kicked off. But let's take a look at our flanking forces, see what they've got going on.
Understood!
And I'm afraid it is not looking very good for our Vilites, unfortunately.
Glory to Rome!
Our flanking forces have unfortunately been outmaneuvered a little bit. And there it is, the problem with sending a bunch of Vilites in alone. We should have had at least a couple Hastati accompany them. I just wasn't expecting so many cavalry. But our main line is holding.
In the name of Rome!
It looks like our general has had to get into the mix himself. Now, something that I try not to do, unless the character is just that kind of character, but one thing that I try not to do is have my generals, you know, out front fighting just because they're valuable, right? You don't want to lose all of your leadership. Ooh, it looks like we are to our own Pelotis. Oh, nice. And I will say that our skirmishers really do a great job in this battle.
By your command! Advance! As for glory! Mars, aid us! Wait until you can see them. Quiet! Listen to orders! Forward! Your souls!
And it looks like thanks to a combination of our general annihilating their peltists and our own peltists being freed up to do some good work, we have all but won this battle.
Ready your weapons! Charge!
Looks like the last of their cavalry are going down as well. And they have broken. And with that, I will head back out to the campaign map. Oh, never get sick of those. And we will once again
At your
occupy.
command.
And Ariminum, being close to the mountains, will focus first on the mining operation. Let's keep bringing that food production up. Now, based on its location, I'm going to put a shipwright in Birmingham. And we'll upgrade the farm here. We're going to wait until we can get to the manipulator barracks to make any more moves. Thankfully, that will be here pretty soon. Now, Brundisium is going to be our garrison, because I want them to be able to hold the south. Not that we're under any major threat, but it's still good to have. And we'll build another farm. Oh, of course. We will focus on making you a great soldier and a great general. And these guys are formidable fighters, but also accomplished skirmishers after what we've seen from them. And usually my battles don't get that close to the wire, but not that I was ever in any danger of really losing the battle, but they did surprise me, and that was fun. And let's issue an edict. Let's start working on, well, we are the ruling party, so we're not going to worry about that. Let's focus on getting this public order going, really. And then once we're at a solid public order without armies sitting in the province. At that point, we'll switch to something else like that. But, you know, we've got a lot to
Our
celebrate.
joint enemies would tremble if we were your allies.
All right, Sparta.
Your- The portents are clear. A treaty between us would please the gods. I have no wish to offend the gods.
We can take a non-aggression pact for now. I want to see how your war with Carthage goes before we go any further. But let's go ahead and get military access. That way we're not bartering for it later.
Your new offer is fair. I swear by Zeus that for our part, all will be as we have agreed.
Wonderful. Now, fortunately for us, we don't have any major threats. To the north, they all seem to be of separate tribes, so I'm not too concerned. Our only threat left is going to be in Alalia, which belongs to the Etruscan League. So let's keep building. We'll get that shrine to Jupiter. Actually, Neapolis, we're going to put a shrine to Neptune. And then, like I said before, we're going to make them into our military wharf. We're going to make Ariminum a civil settlement. Yeah, we'll make it a civil settlement. And then Placentia, we need to focus on you next because you were literally on the front line with Syracuse as our only buffer state. Alright, and our manipular barracks is ready to go. Because we are the dictator, we're going to take troops first. So our first priority is going to be cavalry. And then we're going to get some principes as well. I'm going to replace a few of these guys. For some priority. Oh, and spoke a little too soon. But that's okay.
Ready for battle.
At your service.
Let's get you over here to start taking a look at what they're doing. We can generally see, but I want to see if they have any more reinforcing armies.
Rest a while.
Your orders.
I'm not too concerned about the Navy just yet. We don't have any major naval powers that we have to run up against. And I said that I would focus on Placentia, but that will have to wait until the turn. Speaking of turns, this episode is already starting to run a little long, but because it's our first episode, we'll go ahead and make it an hour long.
Our joint enemies would tremble if we were your allies. Your strength, our
That's
wisdom,
a lot of
together
money.
would achieve great things. Are these words...
Supply reforms. Let's go ahead and start down our civil tree as well.
At your command.
We've got one more unit of Triarii
It is a
to
great
recruit,
and
and let's start
glorious
moving
thing to
this army
die for
towards Rome.
Ready
The
for
order
battle.
against having armies in Rome does not yet stand. I believe that happened under Sulla, if I'm not mistaken, because he marched his army straight into Rome. But that is something I would have to look into. I don't want to misrepresent what actually happened in the historical records, right? Because these guys are accomplished skirmishers, what we'll do is we will get rid of the levies, even though they did a lot of good work. We're going to replace them with Dilates. We'll make 6 of
It's a
those,
good light.
and then 2 Equites, 2 Principes, and a unit of Triarii. Next turn will be the turn when we sail for Alalia.
We have war! The board is ready, and the peace is in place. There is nothing else except to die well.
Now, unexpected. I have never had them declare war on me. I have declared war on them because they were growing too large, but I have never had them start with me. That's interesting. I'm actually pretty excited about that.
We hunger for battle.
Well, if that is going to be the case, we are going to move north
Get to
with
it, men.
the Julii
At your command. Ready for battle.
Fleet reporting.
Ready for orders.
and Scipio
As you command.
will be taking this fight alone. Although he'll have
Ready
the
for orders. All hands to the oars.
Bruni,
We
well,
must rest a while.
Cornelia? House Cornelia? Yeah. House Junia, my mistake. House Junia will be joining us. We are House Cornelia. And to ensure things go smoothly, we will have Papyrus join us up in the north.
Ready for battle. Set up the watch. At your command.
Now, one thing I will say about, oh gosh, why am I forgetting its name? Radius Total War is it makes your troops super cheap to maintain. Like all across the board, I can just have army on army on army. And I love that. It gives us more action. It gives us more enemies to fight instead of just steamrolling everybody, right? So, let's start you off with some
Are
Hastati.
you ready to serve Rome?
It is an honor to serve Rome.
And another thing that Radius does is it takes away your ability to sprint across the map, which I don't love, but that's
Sailors
okay.
have such rough hands. In Rome's service, I never tire.
What we're going to do is we're going to land on the southern shore down at Corrales instead of doing a naval invasion.
We hunger for battle.
And next turn, we will march north into Genoa to stop them from marching south and terrorizing our land. Of course, I have an unassigned skill for Decimus.
It is an honor to serve Rome.
Let's see. Let's take a look at you as a person. Respectful, that's good. Foul-mouthed, I like that. And then a siege expert, right? So, for you, we're going to have you focus on the strategist because you're a siege expert, and a warrior because you're foul-mouthed.
Your orders?
And it looks like everybody's starting to surpass the old dictator here. We got to do something about that. Now, in order to secure the loyalty as well as the future of the families, I do want to get everyone married. So let's start doing that. Hopefully she's not awful. She's not. She's not awful. That's great. What do they say about her? Oh, there we go. Superior wife. Well, she's not great, but she's not awful, so I'll take it. Let's get my brother married as well. You guys are already a couple, so that's good. We'll get you two married. Oh, maybe we should. That's what? Can I not afford it? I'm not sure. But we will start handing out those promotions as well. No reason not to make everybody military tribune. Let's get some more money flowing through here. And we'll also build up Placentia. We'll make it a farming zone.
Yes. For honor and glory.
At your command. Ready for orders. Ready for We hunger for battle. Call this a garrison? Commander?
And it looks like we're going to need to hold off on that one more turn so that we can get
Ready for battle.
some more troops up north.
Rome
Let's go with
needs
the
good
cheaper option.
fighters.
I humbly ask that you at least consider a formal
Definitely
treaty.
not.
Ah!
And this is going to be a rough battle. But it is one that we need to fight, so fight it we will.
The eyes of the Senate and all Rome are upon us today. We must make them proud that we are their defenders. More than that, our Roman gods are watching. Make sure they are not ashamed.
And wise words from our general, currently Rome's greatest general, much to the jealousy, or maybe chagrin, of our current dictator. Responsible with holding our northern border against a very new and very surprising enemy. I will say that I do enjoy that we get to fight them. However, I'm also a little worried that they're more of a match than I was anticipating. Now, something really cool about Massilla is their mixed culture. They're Greco, Italian, Gallic, right? So they really get to benefit from all three cultures and can become really quite a powerhouse very early on. And if you guys are noticing the Greek, the Corinthian style helmets that are definitely not historically accurate to this time period, well, I just like them better, I'll be honest with you. I think they're much cooler to look at, so that's why I included that reskin into this build.
Double time! Right, men! Close watch on those bastards! Double time!
Alright, and knowing we've been spotted, we are pulling back further into the tree line and shrubbery, with our cavalry coming around back behind this cliff face in hopes to get more of a surprise jump on a flanking maneuver. Now, whether this is an effective strategy or not is a different matter. However, the thought again is that we will be nullifying their missile units just a little bit and forcing them into a direct confrontation. This, unfortunately, is where things start to go wrong. We were not quick enough to counter their flanking maneuver. And even though our cavalry does get engaged, it's not quick enough, nor is it from the right angle. Now, this is a little bit my fault as well. I am so used to playing the newer Total Wars that I forgot that you have to double click to attack. So we lost valuable time just in that maneuver alone. Basically allowing them to completely eliminate our right flank as far as the Velites go. Fortunately, we are still fighting them down a hill, and we do somewhat have the forest as coverage. However, we're not a unified force like we should be, and that's going to come back to haunt us. And so the Battle of the Woods has officially gotten underway. All units are engaged with somebody. Now against these hoplites, we should be winning pretty handedly, but that's not really what's happening, unfortunately. We're under too much pressure from incoming volleys. And our lines have just been completely cut off and separated from each other. Unfortunately, there is a lot of confusion on the part of me and my soldiers. Another thing that has that I have unfortunately forgotten was that I could not hold down the space bar and make the tree line disappear to get a better visual of what was happening. So we do have some units that are almost completely disengaged and just getting pelted by missile fire. Even though we are somewhat covered, it is not enough. Things are going well for them over here. Unfortunately, probably not for long. As we come back over, our cavalry forces, which should be using flanking maneuvers to nullify the enemy missiles, are still stuck in a fruitless engagement with the enemies. Meanwhile, our main line of infantry is under very much under stress and is thinning out while still being hit by an array of missiles. And unfortunately, some of our units still are completely or mostly disengaged. Now, fortunately, this is where things start to turn for us. Our Peltas units, our Velites are able to get the jump on their missile units, pelting them from the side. And I hope you guys aren't squeamish to some of this, some of these more graphic kills, right? But if you're watching this channel, I highly doubt you are. Oh. And finally freed up. Oh, no. That's not our cavalry coming in. That's the enemy cavalry. There go our boys coming around the corner. Trying to wipe out the rest of their cav.
Take loose!
here they come to finally relieve us from the missiles that we've been getting annihilated by.
At the devil! Withdraw! It's push it!
Now, one thing I will say that is very unfortunate is that while these maneuvers probably could have saved the day for us, they ended up being too little, too late, as our missile units ran out of ammunition from having to take care of the enemy missiles basically themselves, as well as carrying the entire left flank of our forces. Finally, they get torn to shreds by the enemy cavalry, not to a point of losing, but to a point where they are no longer very effective, even as infantry forces. And unfortunately, probably our greatest tool, which would be our cavalry, is mostly nullified by the fact that they keep their stronger infantry ready to take us on. And while we do have a successful breakthrough with our cavalry forces, in this line. What we don't anticipate is them coming in and surrounding us, cutting us off and being more effective.
By your command.
Every time the hammer hits the anvil, unfortunately, there is less and less of the hammer left.
Quickly now. Quickly now! Cut the guards at speed! Run quickly now! Riders, advance!
Rally to me!
Withdraw!
Now, unfortunately, Lucius has had to make a call, and that call has been to abandon his men
Keep them busy!
and survive another day.
Withdraw!
This has been a devastating loss for the Roman army, and one that will not soon be forgotten. And with a solemn heart, I say it's over for us, and I'll see you back on the campaign map. And a gruesome battle ending in a devastating defeat, not only for Rome, but for our greatest standing general.
Disengage! Gathering supplies.
What will this mean for the northern border and for the House of Julii as well?
The shield wall is always stronger when brothers stand together. That is why I offer a treaty.
Unfortunately, it is not one that I can accept.
Commander? At once! Is that ready for orders?
But with that, my friends, it is going to be a rather sad beginning to our new Let's Play, but definitely something different than what we've been facing in our Archaon play. So, you guys let me know what you think of our first episode into our historical Total Wars. And without further ado, to all my friends, wherever you are, good morning, good evening, and good night. Thanks again to everyone for watching. I really couldn't do this without the support of my family, friends, and everyone who is helping me take my dream of becoming a content creator to the next level. I believe this channel will only get better as time goes on, so if you want to aid me in this journey, all I ask is you do what the kids say.
Comment, like, and subscribe!
Thanks guys, and we'll see you in the next one.